Hello and welcome to What the F Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Monday, February 1st, 2021. Welcome to day 13. The Biden administration reached a $231 million deal for 8.5 million at-home, over-the-counter COVID-19 rapid tests. The test is made by Ellume and can detect COVID with roughly 95% accuracy within 15 minutes. The FDA granted an emergency use authorization in December for the tests, which are expected to cost about $30 each. Meanwhile, a group of 10 Republican senators proposed a $618 billion coronavirus relief plan, roughly a third the size of Biden's $1.9 trillion proposal. The Republican package provides $160 billion for testing and vaccines, extends the $300 weekly unemployment insurance payments until July, and provides $1,000 direct payments. Democratic leaders, however, are prepared to pass Biden's stimulus plan through a process called budget reconciliation, which allows legislation to pass with just 51 votes. Biden is reportedly open to scaling down his $1.9 trillion relief package, but the $618 billion GOP counterproposal is not going to scratch the itch. In particular, the White House says it's open to scaling down stimulus checks for families making more than $150,000 per year. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said the risk is not that Biden's proposal is too big, the risk is that it's too small. Biden agreed to meet with Republican senators to discuss their COVID counterproposal. Ahead of the meeting, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer filed a joint budget resolution that said they will pave the way for the landmark Biden-Harris coronavirus package, declaring that the time for decisive action is now. Meanwhile, the Congressional Budget Office projected that the economy will recover to its pre-pandemic size by the middle of 2021, faster than previously expected. The nation's unemployment rate, however, will remain above its pre-pandemic level through the rest of this decade. Under the CBO's projection, the unemployment rate would average 4.1% from 2026 to 2031, well above the 3.7% that it averaged in 2019. The rosier projections from the CBO do not assume any new stimulus, including Biden's $1.9 trillion plan. Moving on, Trump's 5 impeachment attorneys quit after he wanted his defense to focus on his baseless claim that the election was stolen from him. Trump's lawyers had planned to question whether impeaching a president who has already left office was unconstitutional, but Trump wanted his defense team to argue during his second impeachment trial that he won the 2020 election and that it was stolen from him, while citing his own false claims of election fraud. Trump also repeatedly insisted that the case was simple and has told advisors that he could argue it himself and save money on lawyers. Trump's Senate trial for his role in inciting the attack on the U.S. Capitol begins February 9th. Meanwhile, a New York judge ordered Trump's tax firm to turn over documents to New York Attorney General Letitia James. In December, Judge Arthur Engoron of the state Supreme Court in Manhattan ordered the Trump Organization to produce records related to an investigation into whether Trump had inflated his assets in financial statements in order to secure bank loans and reduce his tax bill. The Trump Organization argued that the documents are protected by attorney-client privilege. On Friday, the judge ordered the Trump Organization to release even more documents to Letitia James's office, rejecting the lawyer's claims that the documents were privileged. And finally, House Democrats introduced a resolution to force Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene out of her 2 committee assignments due to her inflammatory and false statements, which include promoting conspiracy theories that the nation's deadliest mass shootings were staged and that the 2018 California wildfires were started by Jewish space lasers. Greene also endorsed violence against Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other Democrats before she was elected. Last week, Greene was assigned seats on the House Education and Labor Committee and the House Budget Committee. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.